Welcome back to the show, and now let's continue with the fun. Now, the following story is about a youngster who discovered the perks of drawing at an early age and has over the years been polishing and advancing his skills one art piece at a time. Vincent Mbingo is a young visual artist who is utilizing the simplest of materials to create breathtaking artworks. Check this one out. The starting pistol to Vincent Mbingo's race along the visual art track was his discovery of a passion in art at an early age. Cheered on by his parents and teachers, the artist quickly started to build momentum.
My name is Vincent Mbingo. My age is 20. I'm a youngster, an artist in Kenya, and I usually do traditional artworks, which involves biro pen, all the way to charcoal, to graphite, acrylic paint, various mediums. My first artwork attempt ilikuwa class 1. I don't know if you know of Club Kiboko. While the show was going on, there was this specific segment here, Mr. Sketch. So every time I wake up early morning, hapo tu mbele ya TV, Mr. Sketch, napiga tu session ya 30 minutes na then nachora. I try and attempt what he draws. So that's the first time I tried drawing. Then the interest developed with time, so I'm drawing at this eye. My mom and dad, shout out to them. They were really supportive since the start, really supportive. Nikihitaji materials, brushes, anything, papers, kuprint, they're always there, wanna provide. Also pia primary school, my teachers, specific teachers, walikuwa wananisaidia ku build the craft because nilikuwa a bit more tilt than education. But kuna wenye walikuwa wananisupport, wananiendeleza, wananisaidia tu, wananisupport, wananiambia iko tu sawa, niendelee hivyo.
Majority of his artworks are of human portraits, something the artist tethers to the expressive capabilities of different faces.
Naonanga the facial structure of a human inaweza express a lot more, because naonanga in most of the artworks I've seen, mostly with Kenyan artists, it's either a landscape or let's just say an environment setting. Like I think hata unazionanga along the ways, the cliche painting, a sunset and some sort of trees and giraffes, like everyone is doing a landscape. But there's just something about the human facial structure, capture perfectly and express everything. It's not just beauty for beauty's sake. There's purpose to it.
Everything from the idea, inspiration, tools, and story has to be thought through and executed diligently to create the sensational pieces.
Considering mini comrade, I am not yet an established artist. I use what I can. For these pieces, I use just the normal big biro pen though. You are 20 bob too. And gold leaf, I bought it from a store called at Nairobi Evers. So gold leaf and glue, you stick gold leaf with glue. Brushes, I just have a few brushes, like 15 brushes, acrylic paints. Those are the materials I usually use, and mostly cartridge. Mostly I draw inspiration from, of course, Pinterest, and I also follow a couple of artists on Instagram, but most times it's my exact surrounding. Because for this piece, I used my friend, she's called Nicole, as my muse. She does creative makeup, so there was this look she had created, and I was like, it looks really nice. It looks really expressive. The picture she had taken, it looked as if she was genuinely crying, and I was like, can I use this photo as a reference for my painting? And then I connected it to the situation, because most of the things I draw or paint is what I am currently going through in life. So I connected that picture to what I was going through, and I was like, I'll come up with this concept. For this specific piece behind me, it's called, the title of the piece is I Cry For You. And it explains a situation whereby a person is, I would say, not living up to the expectations they had. Unajuanga vile when you're a kid, you're hoping for a better future, you're hoping to kind of like be a great person in the future, but then as time goes by, you start to understand that some of these dreams cannot actually come true, and there are some circumstances you can't move past. So now, in that aspect of I Cry For You, it's like a third party observing someone going through these situations in life, and they feel sympathy for the person, but there's absolutely nothing they can do. So the best they can do is cry. And for this third party person, the reason I chose gold leaf for the tears is because this person has a pure vision towards this person. Like they don't know what's going on in this person's life. All they can do is cry about how bad their life is, but it won't help. When I'm working with acrylic paint and canvas, the first step is to prime the canvas, because canvas is just like a cloth. So you stretch it and prime it. Mostly I use white primer. Then for this, let's say like it has a black background. Now you use black primer or just black normal paint for the background, because at that time you already have the concept in mind, so you know how it should end up, because it's easier starting with the background and moving towards everything that's on the foreground. So for the facial structure, when I'm usually doing portraits, I start with the most dominant aspect of the face. If you have like pretty eyes, if you have like nice lips, your most prominent feature, that's what I'll start with. So I'll just draw the outline, sketch the outline. Let's say if the background is black, I'll sketch the outline with a white charcoal. But if the background is white, I'll use a pencil. So actual painting, the process for mixing the paints, I'll start with your most dominant feature and I'll hit it to perfection. Because once that is out of the way, I already have your attention, so I can just paint everything else.
Social media platforms have been very useful in marketing of his artworks as well as exhibitions.
I have used mostly my Instagram. I've developed my socials. I'm yet to develop my Facebook page, but on Instagram, my username is Vincent Mbingo. I've developed the page, making sure that I constantly produce art. Algorithm, my friends like repost the pictures I draw, post on their stories, send to their friends, posting on status in a reach, a large, and now that's the online aspect of it. For the physical aspect, I have attended a couple of art exhibitions, physical art exhibitions, hosted by different agencies. There's Unboxed Africa, there's one time I went to the event, it's called Sips and Strokes, it was at the waterfront Karen. I've also displayed in places like Westgate, just small events that I can get into without having to involve a lot of costs, because sometimes it does involve costs, like transporting the big paintings. You can't walk with them all the way to town, so we get into a car. Yeah, I've gone to physical exhibitions and also joining art agencies here and there that help me to market, like Unboxed Africa. I'm signed up with them under artist contract.
Undertaking a time-demanding course in school has had the artist schedule his time cleverly to ensure art and school don't collide.
Ilikuwa easy high school and primary, but campus, I'm doing architecture. Now, for those who know the course, ya miaka sita, it's quite taxing, so there's no free time. So inabaki tu unakuwa na the discipline of planning your time, because hauwezi risk the course just because uko na this passion. But I use it sasa, for example, let's say course imeshindikana and everything is just packed and nahitaji a way of release. Sa art ina come in as a way of release. So najipea like 1 hour, 2 hours, sketch something, draw something, start an art project. So yeah, a balance too, inanisaidia ku manage the time well.
Vincent challenges artists to broaden their ambits in art and implores students who are artists to develop their talents while also being mindful of their academic performance.
For most artists, most people, they are comfortable with one specific zone. Like if you're good at this, you stick to it and you just do it. You keep at it, you're not learning anything new. Because for me, I'm not afraid to try a new medium. If, let's say today I decide I'll teach myself watercolor painting, I might not be the best at it at the first attempt, but I will definitely get better with time. So don't be afraid to fail, don't be afraid to try. Because when you try now, you become a more versatile artist. Because for me, I started with mostly pencil, graphite. Then I was afraid of charcoal because of the whole smudging aspect. You know, charcoal, when you just draw a line and smudge, it's all gone. So people are usually afraid of trying new mediums because they're afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. Everyone starts somewhere. If you find something you enjoy doing, let's say a hobby, it might not necessarily be drawing, let's say like singing, develop it. It's one of those few things that are the inbuilt person in you, that those are the aspects of you that can never be changed. If you like singing, don't abandon it. Like, make time for it, because you will always make time for something you love. Keep developing it. Don't be afraid to move to the next step. If you've mastered this, you've mastered that. Try something new. You never know, you might be actually good at it. And when it comes to balancing the books, always never jeopardize your study. My socials, Instagram, I am known as Vincent Mbingo. My contact is 0707 96 56 28. You can contact me if you want personal art commissions to purchase any of my pieces. I am also marketing under our website. The website is under Unboxed Africa. It's an art agency in Kenya that markets our artworks as artists. So that is where you can find my works.
That there is a maestro in the making, and all the very best to the future, sir.